Today, we're diving into a Canadian legal case that, honestly, is a total game changer. It's called R.V. Bartle, and it completely redefined one of the most basic rights you have when you're arrested. Let's get right into it. We've all heard it a million times, right? In movies, on TV shows, you have the right to a lawyer. But seriously, stop and think about that for a second. You're in a stressful, confusing situation. You've just been arrested. What good is that right if you don't know a lawyer off the top of your head, or you're worried you can't afford one? That's the exact puzzle we're digging into today.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start at the source. The foundation for this right is written right into Canada's most important legal document.
And here it is, Section 10B of the Charter. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? You have a right to a lawyer, and the police have to tell you that you have that right. And for a long time, that's pretty much how everyone saw it. But as it turns out, the story of one man was about to put the real-world meaning of this right under a microscope.
And this brings us to the main character in our story, a man named Richard Bartle. For him, what started as a simple traffic stop snowballed into a case that would go all the way to the Supreme Court.
So, the facts of what happened that night were pretty simple. Mr. Bartle gets pulled over, he's arrested for impaired driving, and he's taken down to the station. Once he's there, the police do what they're supposed to. They tell him he has the right to a lawyer, and they even give him a phone and a phone book to find one. He then gives a breath sample. I mean, on the surface, it looks like a textbook arrest, right? Everything seems to be done by the book.
But, and this is the whole reason we're talking about this case, the issue wasn't about what the police did say, it was all about what they didn't say. There was this huge, crucial gap in the information they gave Mr. Bartle.
This right here, this is the heart of the matter. See, Mr. Bartle was told he could call a lawyer, but nobody told him that there was a lawyer available for him for free right then and there. Think about it. It's like someone handing you the key to a car, but not telling you where the car is parked, or even that there is a car waiting for you. A right is pretty much useless if you don't have the practical info you need to actually use it.
And that free, immediate advice, it comes from a service called Duty Counsel. You can think of them as legal first responders. They're lawyers who are on standby 24/7, specifically to help people who've just been arrested. They help you understand your rights and what to do next. Knowing this exists is, well, it's everything, especially if you're worried about money or just don't have a family lawyer on speed dial.
So this is the big question that landed in front of the Supreme Court of Canada. Does being informed of your right just mean the police have to say the magic words from the Charter, or does it mean they have to give you the actual functional information you need to make that right real?
And the court's answer? Wow. It would completely transform police procedures from coast to coast.
This quote from the court's decision just hits the nail on the head. They didn't get bogged down in the literal text, they looked at the purpose of the right. The whole point isn't just to know you have rights. The point is to get advice on how to use them. That right to a lawyer is a lifeline, and the court said the police have to make sure you know how to grab onto it. So, with that logic, the court laid out a brand new, crystal clear standard. From that day on, police didn't just have to tell you that you had a right to a lawyer. They now had a duty to tell you about legal aid, about duty counsel, and, this is key, that you can get free 24-hour advice by calling a toll-free number. And this wasn't just some abstract legal theory. Nope, it had a direct, immediate, and lasting impact on every single arrest in Canada, creating what a lot of people now call the Bartle warning. So let's look at the modern police caution. That first part, that's the original right from the Charter we talked about. But parts 2 and 3, those exist entirely because of Mr. Bartle's case. They are the informational bridge, the missing link, that turns a right on paper into a right you can actually use. So what happened to Mr. Bartle in the end? Well, because the police failed to give him that critical information, the court said his charter rights were violated. And because of that, the breathalyzer evidence against him was thrown out. It just goes to show there are very real consequences when this duty to inform isn't met. And that really brings us to the big takeaway. The Bartle case is this powerful reminder that a right is only as strong as your ability to actually use it. It makes you think, doesn't it? What other fundamental rights do we have that are totally dependent on having the right information at the right time? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for joining this explainer.